And at Oxford University, there was a very special event, like our Kwon Jang-ho said. A group of world leaders on Hallyu, or the Korean wave, gathered at Oxford University to discuss better ways to improve, enhance, and push forward the Korean wave, but that's not limited to K-pop. I had a chance to speak to the UK Oxford President, Chairman of the World Hallyu Congress. Well, Professor Chris Rowley, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. And we're here in Oxford, and I know that you have a long affiliation with Oxford, correct?
That's right. Thank you very much. You're welcome for the interview. I came down in 1987 to do my DPhil at Nuffield College and never left, although I work in Cass Business School in London.
So you told me that you're the regional chairman of the World Hallyu Congress. What is your role in the World Hallyu Congress?
I think my role is to sort of encourage thought and debate, encourage people to make it aware of that. And I'm sort of the one that I sort of like to think of myself as an ideas driver. And so otherwise people write about, I don't watch the K and K-pop. And they just take that, it's a very interesting subject, sure, on its own. I always like to get people to place it in context, hence me giving you these sort of theories at the beginning and the history at the beginning. Can we place that theoretically or historically?
How does Hallyu fit into your theory, or does it not fit into your theory?
Well, I used it actually. You know, typical academic. I'll quote myself. I used it in an article I just published in a journal. I used that exact example to say, well, if you want an example of cultural divergence, Hallyu would be an example of that. If you were having this conversation 10 years ago, nobody would mention it. People would say the Koreans are listening to British music, reading American novels, watching American blockbuster movies. They don't say that anymore, do they? They say, there's a counter argument to this. We're producing culturally, not unique, but culturally different products. How far that washes out across China and the rest of the world is the same hypothesis of the Americans doing. I don't think that's going to happen. However, it produces diversity. So I'm quite happy to use that, and I do use that as an example.
Are you recognizing Hallyu as one of the many cultures and identities that we all have around the world? Is that? I think that's perfectly true. I think the domination of certain music and films has been driven by large American companies, economically successful. It's basically as the American century ends. It's ended. It's the Pacific century. And people never think like that. They think this will never end. No different than the British Empire. People never thought that would end. And then the American hegemony took over. The American hegemony is ending. And you can catch my one-on-one in its entirety right after Arirang News Center.